Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the second half of NYCW's Strike Zone! And thank you for this section right here for cheering. This one right there.
We got her from here, sister.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off the second half here with four-way tag team action. Team Espana taking on Born to Wrestle, taking on the Cabinet, taking on the debuting Filthy Family. And we are joined at the commentary table by a special guest and a tag team specialist in his own right, the Savage, Damon Ravitch. Thank you for joining us, Damon.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Mr. Laporte. Now, a little bit of backstory. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been wrestling since 2009, and in fact, my first match was a tag team match, and I've been doing it so many states ever since.
So, as a tag team specialist, what are your thoughts on the four teams in this contest tonight?
Now, this is very interesting. You see, the Filthy Family, we've never seen them before, correct?
This is their first time here.
Their very first time here. Now, one of my favorite things I'd like to say is fear what you don't know. None of the other teams in here have seen these guys. None of these guys have wrestled these guys. So honestly, I think these guys might be the dark horse to take it.
And that's some great insight. And we saw Big Cal Stevens, the legal man at this point in the match, come in with that big hangman's rope, whipping it around like he's a new age. We all set, guys?
Absolutely.
I sure hope so.
We're gonna start things off here with Dante and Big Cal Stevens lock it up in the center. Stevens certainly has a size advantage, but Dante is one of the strongest men here, pound for pound at NYCW.
He is the world's fittest man.
Look at that man, he's glorious.
And mysteriously absent, if you want to talk about fearing what you don't know, Wayno and Victor Brand, the other two members of the cabinet and the de facto leader in Wayno, not out here tonight at ringside. I haven't seen them around the building. I have to imagine that Wayno must have been called away on some very important presidential business.
I mean, I was thinking a golf vacation, but
I mean, maybe it's the nice weather. Maybe it took a back seat to a trip down to Mar-a-Lago.
And now we're going to have his Secretary of Finance, Money Montgomery, charge at Cal Stevens. Cal fakes him out and makes him scream at the top of his lungs, and is now standing right behind him.
Running his fingers through the greasy hair of Big Cal Stevens, who decks him with a big right.
It's like putting your hands in a plate of spaghetti.
Now,
handing him
he's trying to buy him off.
Little bit of cash there, but he's not having it. For a guy who lives in a van down by the river, and Hose B
B's trying to get some money. I don't blame him.
Cleaning up the ring.
And Johnny Chill comes in. Irish whip off the ropes. Oh! Hip toss. I think he was trying to sit out with a power bomb, but I think he overshot Money Montgomery and threw him right into the face of Johnny Chill. And checking on his partner, and that gives Team Espana time to come in and interject themselves. Jose and Hose B dumping Johnny Chill to the outside. Cal Stevens in there all by himself. Jose hits the ropes. Hose B follows up with a Russian leg sweep.
Great tag team move there. Johnny Cadillac on the outside, looking like he was going to try to make the save, but unnecessary. Cal Stevens able to kick out.
Now, Damon, obviously you and your partner and brother, CJ Scott, are a formidable tag team here at New York Championship Wrestling. What's the future hold for the Savage Wolves?
So I don't ever like to look too far ahead in the future. That's about it. We'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you.
What are your thoughts on Killer Instinct coming away with the championships tonight over the Stepdads?
Honestly, I gotta say I'm quite surprised, because that happens to be a tag team that I've already wrestled. I mean, me and my brother the Wolf, we wrestled the Stepdads. I honestly thought those guys were unbeatable, but I was shockingly,
I'm sure a lot of the NYCW fans share your sentiment, but unfortunately for the Stepdads, and Radley Belmont in particular, Mike Skyro is able to come away with that victory for KI, and we have new NYCW tag champions. But
back to the ring here in the action that's going on. Jose and Hose B have both been tagged in, and all the other teams have failed off the apron and are telling the two of them to fight. I don't think that they realize that if one of them pins the other, they still win the match.
That's fine. It's still a fantastic strategy. Oh no!
And they figured it out.
And they all break in and break up the pinfall and start to put the boots to Team Espana for almost getting away with a little bit of chicanery for the victory.
and the other team's acting as if they tried to pull a fast one. They were the ones that marooned them in that island to begin with.
And there are tag team rules here, but every single member of this match is in the ring. Our referee of questionable morals, Chris, in the ring, not particularly concerned with counting anybody out of the ring. And we see a sextuple super kick to both members of Team Espana by everyone else in this match.
And things have really broken down here. Now the cabinet, Filthy Family ducks under.
Johnny Chill throwing Sweet Money out of the ring.
Cal Stevens with a backbreaker into a neck breaker by Johnny Chill. Born to Wrestle hitting the ring.
Dante's going to roll to the outside, and I suppose Jose and Jose B were the legal men, but under Lucha rules, I suppose by default it's Chichester and Johnny Chill now.
That is correct. If anybody gets dumped to the outside, anyone else can take their place. So the two men in the ring are the legal men. By definition, drop toe hold into this middle turnbuckle. Johnny Cadillac falls up with a boot right into the face, and he gets thrown into the top rope and repeats the process up high. And then a back suplex by Chichester. 1, 2.
And some great tag team offense by Born to Wrestle.
Absolutely. Great teamwork there by the team. Johnny Chill getting out of the ring. Hose B going in.
That's Jose, my friend.
I'm sorry,
It's
Jose.
really
It's
hard
on
to
his
get
back.
them confused, Paul, and somehow you've managed to do it.
Somehow I managed to do it. That's how confusing
Dan
and
Terry throwing
fast-paced
Jose
this
into his
match
own
is.
corner. That could have been bad.
Dan Terry in.
The full Nelson flatliner.
Big old Cal.
Oh my God!
And Cal Stevens just murdered Dan Terry.
What a lariat.
Johnny Cadillac into the ring. Shotgun dropkick into the corner. Chichester putting the boot in. Johnny Cadillac hip attack into the side. Hose B.
Thank you.
Coming into the ring now. Irish whip into the opposite corner. Shoulder block. Rolls through. Famouser right in the center of the ring.
Johnny Cadillac able to roll to the outside.
And now he's got to deal with another Johnny. Oh!
Johnny Chill pump kick catches Hose B right to the side of the face.
Sweet Money.
Money Montgomery comes in, European uppercut, sends him staggering back into the corner, gets low, drives a knee, going through the ropes right into the sternum, right into the midsection of Johnny Chill. Fireman's carry into that suplex, drops him down.
Chichester comes in. He's not the legal man yet.
He is now. As Johnny Chill
Begging to be
rolls out of the
put
ring.
down. I'm thinking Sweet Money's got that on his mind as well. And a masked man on
No,
the
that's
end.
Lance Madewell. He comes in, hits Money Montgomery. Chichester with the roll up and Born to Wrestle get the victory here.
Chichester with a fistful of tights.
What
Let's
is Lance
mention that.
Madewell doing here? Who paid him?
I think
No.
Lance Madewell might just be settling some personal debts. I don't know what's
Unacceptable.
I don't know what's going on here, but Lance Madewell interjected himself into this match. Chichester takes advantage.
Lance Madewell is getting revenge on Sweet Money Martinez for
Sweet Money Martinez!
Sweet Money Montgomery for coming out and interfering in the four-way inaugural NYCW Heavyweight Championship match. That's the revenge. That's the bone that Lance Madewell has to pick with Sweet Money Montgomery.
Madewell clearly can hold on to a grudge for
That
a while.
gigantic pumpkin. Who does he think he is?
And I have to imagine that when Wayno hears about this little transgression, that there's going to be some hell to pay for Lance Madewell.
That's cute that you think Wayno would care about what happens to the people in his cabinet. Perhaps the loss he may be upset about, but you could be right. Lance Madewell may in fact have some retribution coming to him from the cabinet as a result of this.
Big win for Born to Wrestle, though.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, and that's the last thing we haven't talked about yet is Born to Wrestle comes away with a victory over quite a handful of formidable teams.
And with the upheaval in the tag team division here, new champions crowned tonight, we might see our new #1 contenders in Born to Wrestle as a result of this match.
Jose and Hose B make their way to the back.
Good showing by the Filthy Family, too. Good first match for them.
Great
Cal
debut.
Stevens murdered somebody with that
Dan
clothesline.
Terry.
Dan Terry.
Terry.
It's amazing.
It's a
I'm
huge
amazed he's
lariat.
alive.
Lariated him so hard he changed his face. All right, well, it's been a pleasure.
Damon, thank you for joining us.
Surprisingly great to have you.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
And best of luck in your future NYCW career.
I appreciate that. Well, you guys enjoy. Have a great night.
Our next contest is a Lumberjack match. Making his way to the ring. Representing the family of freaks. Weighing in at 245 pounds, it is Conan Lycan.
And we see now the family of freaks filter in. This is a lumberjack match. The entire family is going to be at ringside, able to interject themselves when the competitors roll to the outside, try to take a breather, and you're met in hostile territory.
And this is an interesting solution that was proposed by the NYCW front office. They knew the Filthy family was going to be here. They knew Conan was going to have some backup. They figured maybe interject some other members of the roster into this match to try and even out the odds.
Absolutely creative problem solving by the front office.
Modern problems require modern solutions, Dominic.
And his opponent tonight, from Delphi Falls, New York. He weighs in at 183.7 pounds. He is
Dante Dio finds himself face to face with a full-on family of freaks, but he's got lumberjacks of his own in Guy Sadlowski, Price Wright, Vinny Moon, Kirby Wackerman. He's found some friends here in the NYCW roster.
Proverbial family of freaks of his own.
Stop being rude!
If any of the Lumberjacks enter the ring during the course of this match, they will be suspended from NYCW.
Front office is laying down the law here. If any of the Lumberjacks trying to interject in the ring in the proper match itself, then they will be suspended, Dominic.
It looks like things are already ready to break down.
You introduce this many strange figures into the mix, and it's just a powder keg waiting to explode. And in addition to the other members of the family of freaks, it looks like JD Man of Ataxia, who we saw last month at Rumble at the rink, as the members of that group interject themselves into that Rumble, he has interjected himself into this Lumberjack match. It appears that...
And he's stalking around the outside. I wouldn't quite say that he's a friend of Dante Dio's, but
I wouldn't either, but maybe they share a common enemy here.
he's taking it upon himself to come out here and put himself front row seat for this match.
All right, let's go ahead and get the action in the ring, because Conan Lycan with some beautiful athleticism there as he works his way out of a wrist lock beautifully and gets it into a headlock takeover on Dante Dio. Dio gets a head scissors, wrenches away on Conan Lycan, and Lycan powers out.
When you talk about athleticism, Conan Lycan, he's a big guy. He's got great wrestling skills. He's a little green, but that'll come off as his career develops, and it's unfortunate that so early in his career he's got in with this group of, I want to say bad apples, but I think that undersells it. This family of freaks, I have to imagine, are going to change the way that his career pans out as far as making a name for himself. He might be walking down the dark path.
The darkest path that we have here in New York Championship Wrestling. And that's saying something because we got some pretty dark paths here.
Absolutely. Now Dante Dio throwing some back elbows, sliding and really laying them in.
Generating a lot of momentum in a short amount of distance. It's a side kick right to the stomach, off the ropes, jumping knee to the side of the face, and Conan Lycan goes to the outside, but he goes out on the home side, if you will, and his family of freaks
surrounding him, helping him regroup.
And protecting him.
And game planning, it looks like, going into a huddle. And now the Lumberjacks for Dante Dio making their way to the family of freaks side, and everyone's getting in everyone else's face, and it's the powder keg for now will remain boiling, bubbling, but not exploding.
And Conan Lycan
but
to the side of Dante Dio's face and just jumps him to the outside. I think he
and the family of freaks like a pack of hyenas.
Here we go.
Dante Dio smart, getting Price Right to come out here for him. Price Right throws his entire body over, shielding Dante and rolling him back into the ring before the freaks can do too much damage. But now the freaks laying into Price Right.
Dante Dio getting laid out by Conan Lycan. 1, 2. Dio kicking out at 2 on the outside. Bobby Bates got absolutely waylaid by a big shot from Price Right, and we haven't seen Bobby Bates back in action since his health issues last year.
And you know, we talk about this match being brought about by the Rumble at the Rink Rumble match last month in the Clinton Arena, but the seeds to this match have been long planted. If you remember, Conan Lycan in his debut match turned on his teammates, the Great Nuka, who is not here this evening, and Kirby Wackerman, and turning to the family of freaks, costing his team the match. Danny Adam and Guy Sadlowski have been feuding since, I want to say, day one, but really it was more around Tag Team Turmoil Seasons Beatings time that Danny Adam showed his true colors and turned on Guy. And Bobby Bates has had a problem with every damn person on the roster.
Now the Lumberjacks going to work on Dante again, but he is not in the ring. So does that count as interjecting themselves in this match?
I have to imagine that's fair game, but anything between those ropes is probably going to be cause for some retribution from the front office.
Really skirting the line right there. Conan Lycan hoisting Dante Dio up in the air, holding him high, holding him up, and dropping him down. Devastating body slam. Dante Dio feeling the effects of that. Lycan goes down for the cover. 1, 2. And Dante Dio just barely kicks out.
And there's so much action happening around the ring at all times. It's almost hard to refocus back onto the action that's happening in the ring between Conan Lycan and Dante Dio. So much to talk about with 12 bodies.
We thought we saw chaos in that four-way tag team match that precluded this, but this is taking it to a whole other level. Here at Strike Zone, New York Championship Wrestling, Conan Lycan trying to put Dante Dio to sleep, but his friends, is the only way to describe it, trying to will him back into it.
But Conan able to drag him back down. His hold loosened for a little bit, but it seems like he cinched it back in. Shinlock, and now he's turning him back over. Kirby Wackerman high-fiving Vinny Moon on the outside, but Dante Dio in a bad way on the inside, and that's what matters.
And Kirby is just yelling things at Conan, I think. And Vinny thinks it's hilarious, but they decide that they have to get back to the task at hand. And
Dante Dio powering up. Going to break this hold with some back elbows.
JD Man with some very half-hearted slaps on the apron.
He's not here to help Dante Dio. He's here to help himself at a piece of the family.
Yeah, he's here to harm Conan Lycan and the rest of the members of the family of freaks. Lycan setting Dante Dio on the top rope. Dio fighting off. Shot right to the side of the face. And he jumps up the top rope. Catches the code breaker.
Inferno.
And Conan Lycan goes to the outside, wrong part of town, and the Wolves circle around. Family of Freaks coming in, trying to interject and help out their fellow brother. and they managed to.
And this is more of that chaos we've been talking about.
They might manage to fight off.
Price Right is such a huge guy. Bobby Bates.
Bobby Bates relishing in the first physical activity he's had in almost a half a year as he goes to work on Price Right, but Kirby Wackerman and Price fire back on him.
And meanwhile, Dante
Dio's
Dio's on the top rope.
What's he gonna do? He jumps up!
Huge cross body.
Oh my God, Dante Dio taking out
Almost everyone
at the ringside. No discrimination for any of the Lumberjacks as Dante Dio
The only
sacrificed
person
himself.
he didn't hit was Conan Lycan, who's still in the ring.
And here comes Conan. What's he doing? He's off the ropes. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Conan Lycan! Tope suicida to the outside!
Wiping out everybody.
Absolutely flinging his considerable size at everybody. Devastating the entire group of Lumberjacks. And most importantly, Dante Dio himself, who is now back in the ring. And Conan Lycan may be looking to put this away here. Signaling the thumbs down. Getting ready to end this. Powerbomb position. No,
Dante Dio up and out.
Slips out. Roll up here. Vakula's down. 1, 2. Danny Adam pulls Vakula out of the ring. Goes in. Pump kick to Dante Dio.
Guy Sadlowski in on Danny Adams.
And that disqualification now. Conan Lycan disqualified, but the Family of Freaks is in.
And the bell's ringing, but the action hasn't stopped.
Kirby Wackerman and Vinny Moon getting the hell out of the way. Kirby Wackerman and Vinny Moon realize.
Hey, that was rude. Are you sure I can't? Look, my friend needs help. I gotta go in there. Yeah, we gotta help our buddy. You need to get out of this ring. There we go. That's okay. You're not suspending us. What? You're not. We're not going anywhere.
Cassandra Prowse trying to regain some order. The Family of Freaks dumping everyone to the outside. Now standing in the center of the ring.
Oh
and
my God!
Wiping out.
Sandra Powers trying to restore order here, but the Family of Freaks just ignoring her. They're all suspended.
They don't give a damn about what Cassandra Powers or the front office think, care, say, do.
And Dio, Sadlowski, and Price Right trying to save the referee. Vinny Moon and Kirby Wackerman want to help, but they know that they'll be suspended if they interject per the orders of the front office. And the words of Cassandra Powers, Sadlowski and Adam just going at it tooth and nail here, just rolling around, fighting it out.
And this has turned into a scrap brawl. I mean, Bobby Bates just ripped Danny Adam out of Guy Sadlowski's arms. He was locking in that cross arm breaker.
Nobody wants to get in my way, or you'll see firsthand what happens.
Don't forget, boys. You're suspended.
I do actually. Yes, you can go to the back now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Come on, let's go.
Family of Freaks
Next month, you guys are suspended.
taking a walk.
Dante's the only one who hasn't broken any rules.
They are suspended. Guy Sadlowski and Price Right looks like they're going to be suspended as well, but they think they feel it was worth it to try and help out their friends.
And they had been warned, but they were doing the right thing, but justice is blind.
And Kirby and Vinny Moon both realized that, and they had their careers to think about. Missing a month, that's missing a payday, that's missing exposure on a show, that's missing a chance to move up the ranks. We mentioned earlier Kirby Wackerman had a big win, wants to try and get himself in the line for the Heritage Championship. Vinny Moon still trying to make an impact here and climb the ranks at NYCW. But we have a whole laundry list of suspensions of people we will not be seeing here next month.
For Star Spangled Slammers, the roster's been cut in half. because of the chaos.
The voice of NYCW!
Our next contest is a singles match set for one fall. Making his way to the ring. Holy New York.
Make sure you do it.
Weighing in to 146 pounds. He is Fire Vinyer.
Hello. I'm not even supposed to be here today. But somehow management managed to muster up enough television money for Foxx Vinyer to make his way to NYCW so he can make an impact for all of you. Well. Greetings, true believers. It's I, Father Derek, and I have a problem. Your suit. Don't you care? You see, last month I lit a fire under my brute, and well, apparently that frightened some of the competitors here in this company. For you see, originally, my brute was going to compete against King Leon VI. Guess what? He never showed up. He was then replaced by Damon Ravage. He was ravaged with fear. He was halfway here. He found out who he was going to be in the ring with, and he turned around. He never even made it to the building. And so herein lies the problem. I don't have any competition for my brute. And now that I'm out here and I'm sizing you up and I see that you've taken off your women's blouse that's bedazzled, and I see you painted your nails in your face and you've got this unique looking strip of hair, I think you just might be crazy enough to make this work. So, what do you think? You need something to do. My brute needs something to brutalize. I think this works out perfectly. Let's make this happen. Brute! Come on down.
David Ryman is suddenly upstairs.
From night of New York. He is the beast from the Northeast. Root and Slyke. Good luck, Mr. Vinyer.
And it looks like we have an impromptu match here as Brute Van Slyke gonna do battle with Foxx Vinyer. Brute Van Slyke originally supposed to take on King Leon VI. King Leon decided that he wanted no part of the big man. And I don't know if Foxx does or doesn't, but here we are.
And Father Derek did mention that Damon Ravage never made it to the building. He was sitting 2 feet
very
from me.
clearly did make it to the building, but nonetheless,
Whether or not the fairy tale is true, Brute is here to brutalize, and Foxx Vinyer is in Brute's warpath, and Brute's going to look to make him the next entrant into the War Journal. Or should I say, War Journal.
War Journal. And that does, I mean, that is the thing about Father Derek. He's feeding motivation to his charge, but not everything he's saying is true, I feel like. There's still the motivations and the methods of this man I do have to feel are kind of questionable. Saying that Damon Ravage didn't show when he is very clearly here, you have to wonder what he's telling his wrestler.
What he's filling Brute's head with.
Exactly.
Well, whatever it is, we heard him at Rumble at the Ring. He wants to turn Brute back into the monster that he once was.
And it looks like he might be willing to do that at all costs.
Have to say, an unstoppable Brute is definitely something that could brutalize, terrorize. And
Foxx Vinyer going into the guardrail, and Brute is like grabbing a chair now and driving it across the back and
bouncing it right off him. The ref's gonna
let it go.
Let it go.
That's surprising, but considering the nature, I don't know if this is even an official sanctioned match for there to be a disqualification to be handled out in. There's no 10 count going on right now.
A bit of leniency, maybe good, maybe bad, but we're seeing it here. And Foxx Vinyer now turning it around. Now he's in control of Brute, who's in the corner of the guardrail. Foxx looking to remove those mats, thinks better of it.
Tries to lift him up, but decides to go to his opponent instead. Elbow to the back of the head of Brute Van Slyke.
And Foxx is certainly no competitors.
Oh my God!
Oh my!
Just fells Foxx Vinyer like a tree.
Foxx Vinyer is no competitor to turn your nose up at. He was a finalist in the inaugural NYCW Heavyweight Championship match. He challenged for the NYCW Heavyweight title 2 months later. He is the real deal.
Wrestled all over the world on national television, but he is in there with Brute Van Slyke now, who is as tough a test as you're going to get from anybody in the world of professional wrestling. Rake to the eyes, Firework Foxx Vinyer, a little dirty tactics, nice back elbow to the side of the face.
Follow Derek up on the apron, distracting Foxx Vinyer, ducks out of the way of Brute, splash in the corner, hits a European uppercut.
Turns around, clubs him with a forearm right to the side of the head. And Vinyer with the advantage here, one of the few people who can get that sort of advantage over a man like Brute Van
Knee
Slyke.
between the shoulders.
Oh my God! Huge German suplex on Brute Van Slyke by Foxx Vinyer.
Huge German suplex of Brute Van Slyke. He German suplexed him almost on top of his own body.
Almost crushing himself in the process.
Sacrificing to get the big man over.
Brute Van Slyke kicks out at 2 though. And Vinyer staying on the offense.
We know both these men can take their fair share of punishment. Foxx Vinyer, the only man on the NYCW roster to have gotten a victory over high voltage Omar TKO from Brute Van Slyke.
And he's going to try and get another improbable victory here. Brute Van Slyke not undefeated, of course. He has that loss to Mike Skyros. He's lost in tag team action last month. But beating Brute Van Slyke is a rare feat here at NYCW.
Hey, there's no shame in losing to the NYCW Tag Team Champions.
Absolutely not. And Firework Foxx Vinyer catching
2 men tangled up.
that shot, trying to work an arm triangle here. Vinyer fighting out, trying to club his way free and does so. Oh! But walks right into a devastating forearm for Brute Van Slyke. Lifts Vinyer up. Choke bomb by Brute. 1, 2. No, Vinyer kicks out at 2. I thought that was going to be it. The impact on that was absolutely devastating.
I thought it was over as well. Foxx able to get the shoulder up. He's still in it.
Somehow Vinyer manages.
Certainly a lot of heart, if not a lot of hair.
Manages to kick out there. Vinyer comes in the corner. Vinyer rolls underneath. Brute as he goes into the corner. Brute hits him with a back elbow as he comes in. Vinyer charges, hits him with a super kick. Brute's stunned in the corner. Brute just clubs him right on the neck.
He was looking for that European uppercut. He ate a shot to the back.
Oh my God.
Huge power slam.
Power slam out
Both
of the corner.
men are down.
Very fast-paced action for the 2 heavyweights. One super heavyweight here.
Foxx is grabbing at that right knee, wondering if he heard it at some point, lifting up the big man.
You know, he could have landed awkwardly on that power slam. There's a lot of things that could have happened there. just the weight alone of trying to pick up a man that size could have caused some sort of muscle or ligament damage in the knee. Vinyer going to try and fight through it here, though.
Clinches him up.
Brute Van Slyke fighting out. He tries to get him up again.
And that knee gave out.
Ill-advised there by Foxx Vinyer.
Brute backs into the corner.
That is the last thing I would want to do if I was Foxx Vinyer and having knee troubles, is try and pick the big man up for a second time.
Father Derek on the outside laughing and smiling at Foxx Vinyer, who's struggling to stand.
Vinyer almost a wounded animal here. Let's see how Brute Van Slyke reacts to this. And he goes right at that leg.
Double underhook.
DDT right in the center of the ring, and that could be all she wrote here. 1, 2. No, Vinyer kicks out at 2.
And Brute rolled him over into a pretty lackadaisical cover. He didn't
it seems
put
like
any real weight onto him, just kind of leaned back and hooked the leg.
It seems like Brute's a little bit apprehensive to go full bore. I thought he originally kicked out the bad knee of Vinyer, but he actually kicked the good knee when he went for that double arm DDT. Father Derek throwing in something to him. Looks like he's throwing in an elbow pad. Who knows what that elbow pad is made of or what's inside of it. And he absolutely levels Foxx Vinyer so much for the mercy. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And
was it loaded? Or was he just that powerful with that lariat?
Loaded with a massive muscle for sure. But again, the questionable tactics of Father Derek. Was that just motivation? Because Brute's used that elbow pad before. Was it just a signal? See, he's handing it off to Derek. The referee's not checking it out. Very clearly there was something amiss with that elbow pad. And Brute gets rid of the evidence. And let's say the handiwork of Father Derek being shown here and taking its influence on the big man.
Brute signaling that he wants gold. He wants a belt around his waist.
And that could be very well in the cards for Brute Van Slyke. Whoever comes away with the title tonight may have to face that man next month.
Our next contest is for the New York Championship Wrestling Women's Championship. First, the challenger
we are, ladies and gentlemen, with our co-main event of the evening. New York Championship Wrestling's second women's champion, Corinne Mink, going to be taking on Anastasia Morningstar for that gorgeous title.
Into the Golden Girl versus the Asian of Darkness.
Two polar opposites, if ever there were, here at NYCW. Anastasia Morningstar has been involved in a number of matches, including the multi-woman match for that championship, originally won by Riley Shepard. Riley Shepard unfortunately suffering a knee injury, having to forfeit that title, and Corinne Mink ended up winning the match following that. And now these two are locking up right in the center of the ring.
Shrug each other off.
No one getting the advantage over the other as of right now.
Circle back. Looks like they're going to run their mouths a little bit before maybe locking up again.
Corinne squaring up with Anastasia. Anastasia hits the ropes, shoulder block, and Corinne absorbs the shot. Corinne goes off the ropes herself. Shoulder into Anastasia. She takes about a step back, does not leave her feet. Anastasia into the ropes, and the two square off. Neither of them
evenly
budge.
matched. Neither woman can get the advantage. Anastasia Morningstar dumps Green Mink to the outside.
But Corinne stays on her feet though. Back in the ring, ducks underneath, hits the ropes. Diving shoulder block finally takes Morningstar off her feet. Morningstar kicks out at 1. Corinne Mink locks a inverted side chin lock here. Turning it into a headlock as Morningstar rolls through. Morningstar backing her off into the corner. Pushing away at the chin. Referee's calling for the break. Morningstar backs off but throws in a forearm on the way out. Irish whip into the corner. Mink up.
Up and over. Arm drag.
And Morningstar on the ground. Beautiful jumping neck breaker. Into a sliding clothesline.
Goes for the cover.
And Morningstar kicks out at 2. Mink with the early advantage here over Anastasia Morningstar.
Anastasia looking to roll to the outside, take a breather, catch her breath here, refocus.
Mink tries for a penalty kick off the apron, but Morningstar catches her, an electric chair, drops her right onto the ring apron.
Unceremoniously face to the hardest part of the ring, that apron.
Easily could have broken her nose.
Nose or her neck. I mean.
And Corinne Mink may be in a bad way here. And
she gets rolled back into the ring.
Morningstar might just be picking the bones and just getting the victory here. Could have a new champ. 1, no! Mink with a fast kick out at 2. Showing her resilience and her ability to absorb punishment, but not able to get to her feet quite yet.
Hasn't quite gotten her wits back about her, and she's getting choked over that second rope.
Morningstar absolutely laying into her.
He's using the whole 5 count.
And Morningstar talking some trash to Corinne, saying that the people want her as the champion. The crowd does not agree, but they may not have a say in things, because Anastasia Morningstar has been all over Corinne Mink ever since that EC drop onto the apron. Body attack follows it up, picks up Mink,
sidewalk slam right into the pin.
Corinne Mink kicks out at 2. Anastasia Morningstar on a roll here.
And you always got to appreciate a wrestling move, a throw, a slam, anything that's right into a cover, because you keep the pressure on. You know, you don't create separation, give them a second to breathe before you go for the cover. You're right there, you're right on top of them, and you make them exert more energy immediately.
And you exert less energy yourself by just transitioning right into that cover.
Absolutely.
And Anastasia Morningstar putting on a clinic so far against Corinne Mink, just keeping her grounded and smothering her, just not letting off.
She's good, she's good.
Suplexes, sidewalk slams, shin locks, everything she can do to inflict pain on Corinne Mink she has done so far here. And Mink is in a bad way, but she is starting to fight out. Shots in the midsection. Backs off Anastasia Morningstar into the corner. Mink follows up with a hip attack.
Out of the corner, come on, out of the corner.
Irish whip into the corner. Anastasia Morningstar hits it hard. Boots her out and drives her right through the canvas. 1, 2. Corinne Mink kicks out at 2.
Saving your championship.
Just barely. Mink crawling away. Anastasia Morningstar still on the attack like a spider playing with a fly in its web. She is dominant so far in the early goings on in this match. And we could be
wearing her down more with another chin lock.
We could be seeing another title change here at New York Championship Wrestling. Already saw one tonight. We might see the women's title switch hands as well. Crowd trying to get behind Corinne Mink here. Corinne starting to feel the cheers coming in her way and the chance for her. Backing off Anastasia Morningstar into the corner. Morningstar stays right on her though.
Dives right back into that chin lock. Looks like Corinne Mink's trying to get a grip of that hair. Backs her off, finally breaks the hold.
But Morningstar
she's right back on her.
Stays on her.
Locks it back in.
And Corinne Mink trying to fight off, but Morningstar has
unable to keep separation.
She's just been relentless in this match, Dominic. I have to say, I've been very impressed.
And she wants that NYCW women's title.
Jawbreaker there by Corinne Mink.
That'll readjust your face for sure.
Creative escape there by the champion. Morningstar comes to the corner.
Full head of steam, but gets reversed.
Nailed with a back elbow. Mink tries for the boot. Morningstar catches it. Mink fights her way out and starts laying into her with heavy right hands. Morningstar is staggered. Discus uppercut. Absolutely levels. Might have knocked out Anastasia Morningstar. Mink going up to the top rope. You have to wonder, maybe she should have gone for the cover there, but she's just trying to put the
Morningstar's almost already back to her feet, already standing back up. Diving clothesline
by Mink. 1, 2. Morningstar just barely, not even really a kick out, just getting the shoulder up. And Mink has managed to pile a lot of damage on Morningstar in a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah, making up for the fact that she's been relatively offenseless in this match. And that'll shut her down real quick.
Nails her with the elbow. Mink follows up, hits her with a forearm of her own. Morningstar comes back to the ropes.
Trading shots against the ropes.
And Morningstar hits the ropes. Mink, and they're just going back and forth here. Forearms, Mink hits the ropes, and Morningstar catches her in that sleeper hold again. And she has been working away at that neck this entire match. And Mink might be going to sleep here. She's down. She's on the canvas. Ref's going to be checking very closely.
And Morningstar's laughing in her ear.
Morningstar just suffocating Corinne Mink here. Mink crawling over to the ropes, breaking the hold.
Morningstar's on the outside.
Mink trying to get back her. Looks like she's going
for that cheesecake.
Getting a little power up here.
Little sugar rush.
Takes a bite of the cheesecake, gets some carbs in her, and she's ready to go. Heads to the outside. Morningstar not seeing her coming. Cannonball off the apron. Absolutely leveling Anastasia Morningstar.
And the heel of her boot hit Anastasia Morningstar right between the eyes.
And this could be the breakthrough that Corinne Mink needs. And she rolls Anastasia Morningstar into the ring. Morningstar still not able to recover.
Looking for the cover.
2. Morningstar just barely kicks out at 2 again. Just getting that shoulder off the mat. Corinne Mink staying on her though. Staying as close to her as Anastasia was earlier on in this match. Irish whip into the corner. Morningstar hits it. Mink with the hip attack following it up. Goes to the opposite corner. And she runs in. Morningstar gets out of the way. Misses the Bronco Buster. And Morningstar pulling.
Powers her up and out of the corner.
Right out of the corner. Oh my God. German suplex big time on Corinne Mink. 1, 2. New champ. No. And Corinne Mink kicks out at 2.
Saving her title once more. Just able to get the shoulder up.
Barely.
Morningstar arguing that it was 3.
And you have to feel, considering the match that she's been through, she had to be hoping that that was it, that was the end. But no, Corinne Mink is fighting back. Irish whip into the corner. Morningstar goes in, but Mink goes out the side, blocks forearm of her own, and Mink goes up to the top.
She's climbing.
No,
High
Morningstar
rent
kicks
district.
the ropes and breaks her balance, and Mink lands on the top rope in a very uncomfortable fashion. Fireman's carry now by Anastasia Morningstar. Corinne Mink is up. Mink trying to fight her way out, clubbing the spine of Anastasia Morningstar, and she can't hold her up anymore. Mink turns her around, gets her up,
Powers her up.
spins her around, drops her down, catatonic center of the ring.
Sicilian Dominex.
3. And that's it. Corinne Mink retains her title in an incredibly hard-fought match. Anastasia Morningstar giving her absolute all to Corinne Mink, but our champion comes out and retains her title.
What a contest.
What a match, Dominic. Absolutely spectacular action by both women involved. Anastasia Morningstar was all over Corinne Mink, showed how bad she wanted that title, but Mink showed why she is the NYCW Women's Champion.
Absolutely. You know, there were a lot of naysayers saying that Corinne Mink, she's only the champion because Riley Shepard got injured. Corinne Mink is just this part-time replacement champion, but she's showing that she's here to stay.
Absolutely proved herself tonight. And it looks like our champion might have some words for the crowd here, but no, she's gonna go pick up her cheesecake first. Go finish that off. No, she's gonna give it away. And she's given one of her fans a piece of half-eaten cheesecake. What a memento for our fans in the 16 Stone Brew Pub section.
Congratulations on retaining the title. Thank you. You're welcome. So what's in store for you in NYCW?
Well, here at NYCW, I think I have shown everyone here that I'm on the path to being golden and staying golden as your NYCW Women's Champion.
Hey, you're here, folks. Thank you.
Thank you for being a friend.
All right, before we bring out our next contest, just a reminder, we will be back here next month on July 6th for Star Spangled Slammer! And a reminder, we will have an early start time of 4 p.m., so please make sure you get your tickets tonight. And now, it's time for our main event. This contest is for the New York Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. It's set for one fall. Here's the challenger from Buffalo, New York. He is one half of the Nacci
going to get ready to start off our main event of the evening for the New York Championship Wrestling Championship. High Voltage Omar, Dan Nacci taking each other on here. And Dominic, you're making friends with the champ.
Yeah, I was holding that championship title belt upside down. I was just trying to help the champ out. He wasn't too happy with me interjecting myself there.
No, High Voltage Omar does not like to be told when he's making a mistake. If he ever makes mistakes, which he'll tell you he does not.
Hell,
clearly that was intentional.
He's holding the NYCW championship. He hasn't made any mistakes yet, it would seem.
And now we're going to see him square off with quite literally his biggest challenge yet. And the normally tag team specialist, the big man Dan Nacci, but he is here because he won the Rumble at the rink. But Omar's going to go to work on him and go to work fast and hard.
And Omar went to work on him after that Battle Royal last month. Dan Nacci's keeping the pace.
And don't you think for a second that Dan Nacci forgot about what Omar did last month. And he is going to make him pay for that, or at least try his absolute best. And he's got Omar way up in the air, holding him up.
Oh.
Omar tried to fight out of that, but Nacci just powered him back up and over and vertical suplexed him.
The strength of these Nacci boys.
Right in the center of the ring.
Unbelievable.
Chop, clothesline into the corner. High Voltage Omar making maybe questioning some of his decisions that have led him to this point.
Dan Nacci, the Nacci Mafia, I mean, relative newcomers in the industry, making a name for themselves here in NYCW, typically in these tag team matches, but a very game Dan Nacci, but HVO looking to take the wheels out from under him.
And going with the ankle, specifically targeting that ankle.
Not the knee, not the thigh, that ankle. Now wrenching the knee around the corner, but wrenching and pulling back at the ankle joint.
Really seems like he's trying to work his way up the leg of Dan Nacci, not just trying to take out one spot, but multiple joints on that leg to make sure that he can't get a strong base, that he can't have the power that he normally has in these contests.
I mean, think about Omar's offense.
Oh, God!
Brutal.
Just absolutely.
Kick to the front of the patella of Dan Nacci.
And then driving the back of the leg right into that corner. These ring posts are not circular. They are square, so they have edges to them. And Omar used that to his advantage.
Small package. We saw this work earlier.
Nacci almost comes away with the victory here. Trying again.
Roll up.
You would have to think that Omar's a superior wrestler, but Nacci's kind of beating him at his own game here.
Are we going to see another champion take a walk on the Naccis? We already saw Scotty Arrow turn tail on Frankie earlier tonight. HVO taking a breather on the outside, looking like he's going to come back around for this match.
Crowd getting behind Nacci here as Omar has to regroup. And it seems like it's Dan is a little, it does seem like he is bothering. He's got a microphone.
You guys. He's not even on. 7.
Omar's got a microphone.
You guys need to shut up.
You guys, don't shut up. I'm leaving, all right?
I don't think I've ever heard a wrestler tell the crowd to shut up, and it worked.
No, but you have to wonder, maybe Omar's just looking for an excuse to get out of here.
We get it. You like sauce. We get it. You shut up. 5. You're the warning. 7.
And Omar decided he's had enough talking. Looks like he is going to stay out here and stay in this match.
I said get him away. You're not listening.
As Dan Nacci cuts off Omar. Omar up on the apron. Nacci cuts him off again.
And he's toying with Dan Nacci, making the lesser experienced man really think about it, you know? Think about how far he's come. He was really turning up the heat, keeping the pressure on early, but now he's not able to get his hands on Omar. You got to imagine that it's driving him crazy.
And
but he's coming around the outside.
God. He goes to the outside, just runs over. Freaking Omar looks like he got hit by a car. Just absolutely runs, not over, but through High Voltage Omar, rolling him into the ring.
Now he's trapped between those 4 posts, and Dan Nacci is going to keep the pressure on. Big chop, another one. 3. Backswing against the ropes. Reversal. Dan's coming back at him. Ducks. Omar ducks him.
Beautiful hip toss into the suplex combination that Omar executes so well. Nacci on his feet. Omar then kicks at that bad leg that he was working on earlier. Going back to the game plan that was temporarily disrupted by the challenger. But Omar is on the attack now.
And Omar, to my knowledge, he doesn't have any leg-based submission holds in his repertoire that he would be looking to finish a match with. This is purely to hurt Dan Nacci, keep him on his back, and keep him away from being able to execute those power moves that he's so apt at performing.
Well, also, you have to look at the experience of High Voltage Omar. You say he doesn't have any submission
But
moves
here comes the Indian Deathlock.
But he's an experienced enough wrestler. He's wrestled all over the world, and he can go to different things if he needs to. Is that his specialty? No. Does he do it every match? No. Can he? We're seeing that here very clearly, yes. And you have to figure Dan Nacci wouldn't have scouted that in him as well. So this is very smart game plan.
Great point. That's kind of the stuff that Dan Nacci wouldn't have seen, wouldn't be prepared for. And it's working. And that's why he's the champ. I'll admit it. That's the brain that keeps the gold around Omar's waist.
And that's why we've seen him wear gold in a number of organizations. This is not his first championship. It certainly will not be his last. And High Voltage Omar is going to hang on to that NYCW title with an absolute iron grip. Dan Nacci trying to get to his feet, but having a lot of trouble because of his legs. Irish whip in the corner. Nacci basically
just able to hobble
one leg.
Oh, but he's caught.
Nacci able to keep that base for long enough to German suplex. High Voltage Omar practically out of his boots.
Dan Nacci basically on one leg, still able to get Omar up and over.
Once again showing off the strength of the big man. Omar kicking out at 2. I mean, that bad leg even affects your ability to cover the guy. It affects your pinfalls.
Can't plan on the balls of your foot to get pressure to put a little bit more leverage into your covers? Absolutely. Every bad thing that you can think of starts with not being able to put leverage, put power, put any weight on one bad leg.
And Nacci trying to take advantage of this situation that he has Omar in. Still, you could tell that leg is bothering him, trying to plant on that back leg to get momentum for those chops. It's still affecting Nacci. He's able to do it, but it's not coming easy to him. He sits Omar on the top rope, and he's trying to climb himself, and this is not something that's going to be easy for him to do with one bad leg.
He's managed to get a bit of a base there on the second rope, but
he's trying to fight off Omar.
Omar's got a firm grip on the top rope, not going to let him get up and over. Omar's legs in the wrong place. If Dan's trying to hit that superplex, his legs are trapped between the turnbuckle and the waist of Dan Nacci, and Omar gets out and over.
Oh, God! And he just kicks out the back of his leg right from under him. And then to add insult to injury, or to add injury to injury, Dan Nacci's legs hit that rope on the way down. Handspring back elbow, step up enziguri, nails Nacci right in the face.
He caught Omar's knee right between the eyes, and that's quite high up. And Dan Nacci eats a big elbow right across the gut.
And this could be it here. The champ may be retaining 1, 2. Nacci kicks out at 2. Absorbing a lot of punishment, but ready for more, or at least not out of the fight yet. And Omar getting distracted, starting to jaw jack with the crowd, and this is where the champ tends to get into trouble.
Oh, but he lays a boot right between the shoulders of Dan Nacci.
Right between the shoulder blades with the point of that boot on the spine of Dan Nacci. Now kicking at that bad leg again. Keeping with the game plan that he clearly had going into this bout. Now he might be going for a figure 4 here. No, Nacci kicks him off with a good leg. Double boots away. And he tries to get to his feet.
And just thinking about it, Dan Nacci, even on his back in a submission hold, he's still 6'7". He's close to the ropes no matter where he is in that ring.
That is the advantage he has, but Omar has just been working away with strikes more than submissions, it seems. Nacci's got him around the neck. Tries to lift Omar up, gets him up. couldn't get him up as high as he normally would have because he didn't have a base. He didn't have that leg to support him. Let's see if that might be enough to put him away, though. No!
Omar out at 2.5.
And with the delay from Dan Nacci favoring his leg, Omar was clearly down for a count of 3. If Nacci could have gotten on Omar right away, we'd have a new NYCW champion right now. That music would be playing, and that belt would be...
James would be stirring the sauce,
Absolutely.
and Frankie'd be coming out here. But unfortunately for Dan Nacci, that is not the case.
He's trying to get him up in that fireman's carry.
He
really,
can barely
again,
keep that leg
just
under
on
him.
one leg, basically. No! Omar fights him off and turns it into a devastating DDT, planting Nacci right on the top of his head.
Puts all 6 feet 7 inches of Dan Nacci upside down in the center of the ring.
And both men are down now. Both men having taken a ton of punishment. Omar trying to catch his breath. Nacci trying to stop the room from spinning after getting dropped on the top of his head. Both men down still in the center of the ring.
Shoulders flat, eyes barely open. Ref's up to a count of 7.
This could be a double count out, in which case Omar would retain. But both men start
stirring.
almost at the same time.
And trading shots on the ground. Ref's going to call him up.
I mean, they're making contact. They're back in the fight here quite clearly. Trading shots back and forth and back and forth. These two squaring off. And Nacci's
Dan getting the better of him.
Irish whip reversed. Nacci's so tall.
With the long arms of Dan Nacci, the reverse against the other rope was still...
He was almost in the ropes already by the time the reversal was started.
And meanwhile, Omar is down flat on his face, looking like he's out.
Omar grabs the ropes, though. Great ring awareness shown by the champ.
Just a 1 count. Smart wrestling, the crowd says. I have to agree with him.
And Nacci goes in, tries to go behind, ducks underneath. Big backstabber on Omar, but you have to wonder how much that affected the knee of Dan Nacci. He's checking on that knee now. You can tell he's clearly favoring it.
He's not able to capitalize on it. He may not be grabbing at that knee, but you can imagine that it's in a ton of pain.
Just sacrificing his own body in an attempt to damage High Voltage Omar and get the champion. Runs in. Oh, God! Tries for a senton. Catches nothing but the knees of High Voltage Omar right to the small of the back.
Omar's crawling over to keep the advantage on.
Pulls Nacci to his feet. Headbutts him right to the top of the head.
Looking for that shock drop.
Getting him a little bit lower, then lifting him up and driving him down right on the back of his head. Ref's down 1, 2. Nacci throws High Voltage Omar halfway across the ring in the kick out.
Presses him up and out and onto the referee almost.
Omar has frequently used the shock drop as a finisher, and Nacci just almost threw him out of the ring, and Omar realizes,
Omar's pleading.
Oh my God, what have I done to upset this large man? But no, he comes at Nacci, ducks under. Nacci with a knee to the midsection, picks him up, fireman's carry.
Looks like he's gonna stir some sauce of his own.
No, hard elbows right to the side of Nacci's face. Kicks
See
out
his
his
jaw
face.
rocking with each elbow.
Gets him up. Jackhammer in the center of the ring. Omar, 1, 2, 3. That's it. High Voltage Omar retains.
And a great showing by Dan Nacci, but unable to overcome the inescapable, the inevitable, the unbelievable High Voltage Omar.
Absolutely incredible effort by Dan Nacci, but Omar's the champ for a reason, and he showed it again tonight. His athleticism, his skill. You know, we talk about different members of NYCW, and Scotty Arrow has the cunning, and you know, somebody like Conan Lycan has the strength, and then we have somebody like Guy Sadlowski with the technical ability, and Omar's the champion because he's got all of those things.
Absolutely.
Athleticism, smarts, skill, a killer instinct, to reference our new tag team champions. He has it all.
An unbelievable heart for a guy who isn't a big fan of the crowd.
And wait, it's Kirby Wackerman's coming out here. What's Kirby doing out here?
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the interruption, but I beg a moment of indulgence and a moment of the champ's time. In case you forgot, my name is Kirby Wackerman, and I am the proud bearer of what is quite possibly the toughest nugget in pro wrestling. Now, high voltage Omar.
That's Mr.
I greatly respect what you do in this ring. And when you eliminated me from the New York Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship Tournament, I took it hard. But the noggin is tough and the spirit is stronger. So I hit the gym. I went on a diet. And I've been working harder than I have ever worked in my career. And now I'm tearing up a streak. Last month in Clinton, I defeated 5 of the finest athletes in independent professional wrestling today. It was awesome! And tonight, I beat the biggest, meanest, beat-down bully all the way back to Boston! And that felt pretty good. And when I was in the locker room tonight, it struck me like a lightning bolt. I gotta bring the battle back to the big, bald, bearded Boricuan badass. So when you say, you, me, that turkey platter, next month, you can have your match. I ain't touching that hand.
All right, and the challenge has been laid down by Kirby Wackerman, and apparently it's been accepted. High Voltage Omar is not one to back down when someone steps up to him. And next month, at Star Spangled Slammer, we're going to see, presumably in our main event, High Voltage Omar and Kirby Wackerman.
It's happening. Hometown boys going to look to get one over on the champ and walk out with a shiny new 10 pounds of gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. What a night we've had here at Strike Zone. Some amazing matches, new tag team champions, and we're going to continue along the path to great wrestling action here at New York Championship Wrestling. Next month we will see you at Star Spangled Slammer. But for my partner Dominic Schmidt,
we'll see you in the red, white, and blue, folks.
See you next month. My name is Paul Laporte. Thank you, and good night.